Hey everybody, today I wanted to talk about suicide and just give you my story with suicide. When I was in 7th grade, my grandmother was very, very ill with cancer, and she opted to live the rest of her days out at home, and I got to see her deteriorate, and her and I were very, very close, and it killed me to see her so sick and so helpless and in that state. So after she died, this was my first major depressive episode, and I went from being this happy-go-lucky person to completely depressed and hopeless. And I kept a lot of my feelings inside because I thought it was wrong for me to feel upset that she was gone. And those feelings, along with anger and confusion and just loneliness, built up inside of me. And when I got to 8th grade, I was acting out in suicidal ways. I was in so much pain. I was so angry. I wasn't dealing with the fact that she was gone. I wasn't dealing with my feelings. I was just pretending that they didn't exist. And I attempted to kill myself 3 times. 2 times I walked and stood in front of a dump truck. Well, it was 2 dump trucks, 2 separate times, and I tried to jump off a bridge, which is actually right next to my house, that goes onto the turnpike. That goes over the turnpike. And luckily, there were people around me who stopped me at the time, and I ended up going to Sweetser, and I really didn't like it there, so I told them what they wanted to hear just to get out, and I still didn't get any help from that. And through my high school years, thinking back on it, I could see where my moods went up and they went down. One minute I'd be so depressed I didn't want to be near anybody. Everything irritated me. I couldn't stand it. Just leave me alone. And then the next minute, oh, let's hang out, let's do this, let's do that. You know, I was always like coming up with all these weird ideas, and people are just kind of looking at me like, that's not really feasible. But to me it was. So that was where I could see the ups and downs. Looking back now, then I had no idea. And plus, when you're a teenager, your moods are all over the place anyway with hormones and whatnot. So I think it's difficult to tell at that age. But the symptoms continued on into my adult life, so that's how I can personally decipher it. But since I've become an adult and had my child, he has given me a reason to not want to end my life. Because I think, well, if I wasn't here, how would that affect the people around me? Mostly my son. And I couldn't leave my son without a mother. I couldn't do that. I think that would traumatize him beyond belief. I need to be here for him because I gave birth to him, I brought him into this world, and he's my responsibility. And I think, personally for me, I'm not speaking for anyone else, personally for me, taking my own life, now that I have a son, would be the worst thing that I could possibly do to him, aside from just leaving. I could never do that. I need to be here for my son, you know. So I haven't had any thinking of suicide like I did back in 8th grade. I have had thoughts of death or dreams of death, but I've never acted on anything. And I hope I don't ever act on anything. But I couldn't, I don't know how I don't know how my son would survive knowing that I took my life. I know he would be so angry at me, and it would mess him up. I know that. So I couldn't do that to him. But when I was in 8th grade, it was a lot different. It was just myself. I didn't have anyone to care for. And I just wanted to end the pain. I was so depressed. I mean, I was so low. I haven't been that low since, but I was so low. There aren't any words to describe how I felt. You know, I mean, if you are bipolar or suffer from depression, then you know that feeling. It's like this black hole swallows you, and there's this tiny, tiny, tiny little ray of light, but you can't reach it. You don't know how to get out. You don't know how to get to that good place, and sometimes people don't want to. But I thought I would share my story. Sorry if I'm babbling, but I just want people to know that suicide might stop the pain right then and there for that person who's feeling it, but you're gonna leave pain behind with your loved ones, your family, your friends, your children. So I hope that you think twice about it and think, if I was gone, how would this affect other people? Because it's not just about you, it's about other people as well, and how it's like a ripple effect. You kill yourself, and there's a ripple effect of emotions for the other people who are a part of your life. And I hope that if anyone is thinking about suicide, that you change your mind, you call for help, call your doctor, tell somebody that you're having these thoughts and feelings, because there is help out there, and there are going to be people who miss you if you did take your life. And I hope this video helped somebody in some way. Please leave a comment or message me or leave a video response, anything. I'd like to get your feedback about this subject, or just hear about your stories. So that's my story, and I hope it was helpful for somebody.